going to mainland China now. Hong Kong and Macau are very different. We're actually going into China, real China. I do want to say, because I know that the Chinese government is clearly surveying me right now, especially because we have to use this app called Alipay to pay for anything in mainland China. I'm gonna make another rant about that in a second, but just wanted to say, if they're listening right now, which they totally are, I understand your arguments for Taiwan. I'm not saying that I agree with you, but I understand the historical argument. I'm just gonna say that. I'll put that in the air and hopefully they don't deny me at the border. Maybe. This is Alipay. This is Alipay for HK though. This is only the HK version, but most of mainland China uses just Alipay in general. Hate that. Really, I was like actually beginning to crash out last night because I guess they're not going to use a whole lot of cash in Shenzhen. That's exactly where we're going. My bad, I forgot to mention the city, Shenzhen. So we need to have, they don't use a whole lot of cash. We have HK dollars, but we don't have the Chinese currency, the yuan, Y-U-A-N. So anyways, everyone uses cashless, which I get, that's kind of cool, but I don't want to have to download this shit. You got to input your credit card information to the Chinese government. Now, mind you, I do have TikTok. I do have a TikTok account, but I do not give them access to my bank account information. See, that's a little bit of a step forward. I do not buy things off the TikTok shop. Yeah, so I'm just gonna throw that out there. But anyways, I was crashing out last night because I was like, this is so stupid. They didn't even let me do my card in there either. They actually said for security purposes, we're not gonna let you. I'm like, whoa, well that's really weird. So respect there. My boy got a Tesla shirt on. Oh shit. Honestly, I'm seeing way more Teslas than BYD. Maybe it's just because we're in HK, but yeah, I don't see a whole lot of others. It was kind of an ordeal getting here, but we have finally arrived on, we're going to, I think we're about to see some electronics right now. But yeah, this feels definitely like real China, but you could definitely tell once you enter through the actual border, it's like, oh, this is China. That might sound weird to Americans, but yeah, I don't know. You can really feel it. It's crazy. Dang, this place is crazy. They be selling everything. This is so chaotic because every store is playing their own like music. So you're just walking, you're just hearing like all these different, obviously Chinese songs. Things are cheap here though. Obviously, these are really cheap little areas. I wonder if any of this stuff's gonna get copyright claims, because yeah, I don't know if YouTube has a lot of these songs in their registry. So Shenzhen is known for being the Silicon Valley of China. So you can buy like really cheap electronics here. Very cheap electronics, that's what it's known for. It's the third most populated city in China. And I guess it's the second financial hub. If Beijing is number one or Shanghai is number one. Oh man, there's so much to try. It's raining, as you can see. It is literally so loud here. It's like absolute chaos. I thought it was just that like hallway, that little underground hallway we were in, but it turns out no. This whole center is just like blasting music left and right. Like, I can barely even speak into this camera, and I feel like you guys can barely hear me. I haven't even been able to talk about how I got detained by the CCP for one period. Oh, let's go down there. Yeah, I got detained for a little bit there because I tried to enter mainland China without a visa. Yes, I know, I'm a stupid idiot American, but I had no idea that they didn't even warn me at all. I basically was on mainland Chinese territory, like we were far after Hong Kong, and yeah, and I basically just strolled up to the immigration patrol lady, and I'm like, hey, let me in, and she's like, you don't have a visa, sir, and she started like panicking, and she's just like, hey, and I was like, uh-oh.
Hi, additional context, future Drew here. I was told there's visa on arrival going from Hong Kong to Shenzhen if you cross by land using the subway there. It's not like I just rolled up in there without thinking there was visa on arrival or without, applying for a visa first. I knew that I had to apply for a visa. The problem was they did not tell us where exactly I needed to go. There was no information saying you have to go to this station, definitely not to this station. I'm going to talk more about that later in this video.
And yeah, so I had to briefly detained is probably the best way to put it. And then we had to leave and come back, and I had to get a 5-day visa. And I thought that I was gonna get put in a gulag or something like that, but I guess not. Ooh, that looks really good. Ooh, marshmallows. Oh my god. And then I thought I was gonna get denied for the visa because all the shit I've said online. It did take an abnormally, it felt slightly longer than it should have been. Like once I applied, it was like 40 minutes. And I was like, I'm getting denied. They're definitely gonna see some shit that I've said, and they're gonna be like, nah, how about no? Wow. The food looks really good though. Wow, that's really good. Anyways, we're here now, and there's lots to see and do. I'm just wondering if that's like a strategy for most Asian countries, like to just to like completely overwhelm you with chaos in order for you to buy their stuff. Like, I've never felt like I've been able to shop and relax, even though I'm not much of a shopper and relaxer. Yeah, also, the other reason why this is China to me, very clearly, is because there's significantly less English. I have no idea what the hell is going on out here. There is English, but it's way less than obviously Hong Kong. What's interesting about Shenzhen is that obviously historically, this city has literally been here for like almost 2 centuries now, probably longer than that, but it has been kind of just the Chinese side of the European world, you know, like there's Hong Kong and then Macau, and then Shenzhen was like just across the border into mainland China. And just recently, Shenzhen passed up Hong Kong in terms of yearly GDP. So they kind of did what seemed to be impossible like 100 years ago or 200 years ago, like absolutely impossible. I was reading about like Chinese special economic zones. This was the first where basically the Chinese Communist Party started to experiment with more like free trade and, you know, quote unquote capitalism maybe. And this was the one area you could do it to draw in foreign investment, and this place just exploded. And now there's like 4 other cities like it, and there's like special distinctions between the different zones. So there's more, they're usually coastal cities that are now allowed to kind of have like their own little rules, I guess, with socialist guidelines. Oh, here we go. I definitely understand USA MLB. That's something. Okay, lots of New York Yankee stuff. Okay, this area doesn't feel as chaotic. That's nice. Also, I was right about, so Hong Kong feels run down because the buildings were just built so much longer ago. But that grit is cool, and people like that grit. Like I said, the grit of Hong Kong that's a part of the love of it. But yeah, oh, that looks like a Uniqlo. Is that the Chinese Uniqlo? Maybe. I don't think I've ever been to a place more than this where I had no idea what the hell was going on. Like, even Hong Kong, it's like, generally I can kind of see what's going on. There's enough English, and there's enough English speakers. I do not know what in the hell is going on here. Like, I don't know. This is a complete alien planet right here. I do see, well, I say that I do see the Bank of China, which is clearly labeled in English. But when it comes to like the clothing brands and the food, the culture, oh, there's like a moped that has Buzz Lightyear skin on it. What kind of Fortnite skin is that? Oh boy. Back to people driving on the right side of the road though, that's kind of cool. Wow, a lot of construction. And sidewalks with scooters on it. Interesting. I did say that there was going to be a lot of construction out here. I knew that there'd be a lot in China. Oh my god, okay, the cameras everywhere. I thought it was just in the immigration office at the border patrol. No, the cameras are everywhere. It's crazy. Like not just one. Okay, so there are some buildings that are kind of run down a little bit, but I am filming myself, and they are 100% filming me at like 110 different angles. Just this intersection right here has got so many cameras. That's scary. I'm a little scared. I'm very afraid to do anything wrong because they are gonna 100%. It's a different level of, like, Hong Kong felt kind of chaotic. It's probably fine. Here I feel scared because, oh, we're trying to find food. It's interesting that the crossing is for like bicycles and mopeds when the green pedestrian sign is on. So I guess they're considered pedestrians, maybe, or maybe both. Maybe they can go whenever. But when the cars were stopped, the mopeds and everything, everyone has these out here. I'm very tempted to just try the Chinese version of McDonald's. And no, I shouldn't do that. The Chinese version or the KFC version. I think I've made this reference before, but it really makes sense why so many of my international viewers knew about Kentucky. And I'm like, why the fuck, out of all the states, would you know of Kentucky? And it's because KFCs are literally everywhere, all around the world. And I think generally KFC's probably better internationally than they are in America. I don't think KFC's very good back in the USA. It's so interesting that even like the stop walks have the number of how long you have to wait until you get to walk. Oh, people just go. Oh. Well, the bikes and shit go. The two-wheeled vehicles go. That's what I guess I should say. They think they see the trucks are stopped, the vehicles are stopped. I'm seeing, so Shenzhen is apparently the capital of BYD. BYD's headquarters is here, but there are still Teslas. There are still Teslas. Also, you can just walk however you want to walk. There's no lines for pedestrians. You could cross diagonally over if you want. It's all good. I don't know why I'm bringing up Google Earth right now. A lot of people. Those apartment buildings are filled out. Sometimes you can tell when like there's some empty units. That doesn't look like there's a single empty unit up there. Every single one has closed. And again, yeah, scooters everywhere. Scooters and bicycles everywhere. Is this a Chinese-wide thing? Or just in Shenzhen? These electric scooters are crazy. And people are like just smoking a cigarette on it at the same time, riding this shit, dodging people, dodging pedestrians on foot. They're just parked everywhere. Honestly though, well, you can't probably get that far with them. But this is surprising a little bit because the subway system is supposed to be so extensive in China, or at least rail is, maybe not Shenzhen, but if this is the Silicon Valley of China, then I'm pretty sure they have to have a pretty epic metro. So I wonder why people still, is it just a popular thing? Does everyone like to have their own little scooters with their own little skin too? Like I said, I saw a scooter with a Buzz Lightyear. The theme of this place, which should not be surprising at this point, I'm not seeing any tourists here. Like, I saw one maybe, and that is it. I'm not the only American. I saw other American family that could speak, I think, Mandarin or Canto. They also applied for the 5-day visa. But I'm certainly the only American that looks this way here. I saw one Russian family. I think it was Russian. She was speaking a Slavic language. She could have been Ukrainian, but I'm pretty sure she was Russian. It was just a mom with her 2 daughters. I mean, just like, they're just selling things. This area, everyone's selling things, which makes sense. I just said it was like the 3rd biggest financial city. So these people here are gonna have lots of money. You're gonna want to sell them a lot of stuffs. Oh, we got makeup over here. John Cena. Oh, Bing Chilling. I need to ask for Bing Chilling. We got the London burger because you know you can't have the USA burger. London burger. These people are probably seeing me film this and they're like, oh, of course the white guy staring at the burgers. I wasn't sure if there was a Starbucks in China, but then I do remember they do have locations. It doesn't seem to be the most popular chain coffee though. There's literally food everywhere. Oh my god, the mountain of what are those, crawfish, Louisiana, something. Yeah, there's food everywhere. You can't escape food. This trip has made me realize that food is a great business to get into. It's actually not, but people always have to eat 3 times a day. How is AI gonna replace food? That's basically what I'm trying to say. But I actually heard that the restaurant industry is very difficult to break into, and you on average only stay open for like 3 years. Coconut. It's not bad. It's not bad. Coconut milk. It's pretty whatever, not gonna lie. I'm not sure what it is, but Asia sure does love their bendy straws. There's bendy straws everywhere. Why? I wonder why. This feels very kid-like to me. I'm a man. I drink from a straight straw, only straight. Yeah, now what is all that? Because I almost got detained by the CCP, I'm just gonna plan to celebrate by not being detained, by gorging myself on so much food right now. Oh, that's good. That's some good ass tea. I like crab. I don't know what that bell is, but it's pretty cool. It looks very old. I hope it's old, or maybe they built it last year, I'm not sure. There's someone playing like some audio every 2 seconds. I don't know what it's saying, but maybe it's like the store name or something. This would make me like murder an entire family. I've only been here for like 5 minutes and I've heard this audio like already 100 times. It is crazy. The level of marketing they're doing here is insane. They'll drive you crazy if you don't eat at their store. Or I think this is just a regular shopping store. Those feel so good. Oh, yeah. We got Huawei. We got the Huawei store. The sheer loudness is insane. How is it this loud? I can't help but feel so much sadness for the employees that have to work around these conditions. Like not only that last place where they kept repeating the same audio literally every 2 seconds. I probably heard it 1,000 times already. But now imagine working that 8-hour shift. But just in general, everything is so loud. I'm actually just in shock. Never seen anything like this before. I guess it's kind of like the Doki, that store. But at least that wasn't that loud. I mean, it was like at a moderate level. This stuff's just like loud and annoying. Probably works though, in a sick and twisted, torturous way. I can see how blasting the same audio in your ear is a great way to get you to actually purchase something. That looks so good. That looks so good. Man, I don't know any Mandarin. I have to hit them with a thank you. Usually I like to learn like, please and thank you before I show up to a place. I have not been able to learn any of that. I am fascinated by how many places outside of the US, this is not just an Asia thing. I'm fascinated how many places outside the US have people just standing around doing nothing as a job. Like they're overstaffed. Every business is just overstaffed. Like they don't need, and that's maybe just my American mind working, my capitalist mind working, but like when we were waiting for the immigration, I was like, wow, they got 4 people on? Then more and more people kept coming from the back. I was the only one, and then a family came, but I was the only one that was looking for a 5-day visa. It was 3 p.m. on a Wednesday, mind you, so maybe that's part of the reason why. But I saw like 4 window agents that just handle 5-day visas for outsiders. Look at how people just sit there. It's crazy. So I kept counting people that kept coming from the back to look at what was going on. And just more and more people kept coming from the back that had the same uniform on that was clearly like just for the 5-day visa area. And I'm like, damn, how many people do you have on right now? I don't know. Maybe that's just some restaurant American mind, but it's like, If people were standing around, you would just start cutting people. Boom, boom. Managers would just start coming around like, go home, go home, go home, like immediately. I saw it all in Thailand. This could be happening too though, because there is less tourism going on all around the world. I get like, I saw a TikTok today about how Tulum is dying. Like all these countries have all these cities that are supposedly just dying, but it's a worldwide thing. So maybe that's why it seems like there's so many people on that aren't doing anything, because they're expecting more tourists to be here, but there just isn't. Like again, the lady that took like 40 minutes to give me my 5-day visa, she was just reading a magazine. Someone else had to like grab her attention 2-3 times. And then the border agent next to her, I don't know if they're called border agent, the visa agent next to her was reading a book. I'm just like, whoa, it's weird how people are working, but they're not actually working. They're not actually doing anything. It's a lot of eggs. A lot of eggs. We need those eggs. We run out of eggs. That's how they flex on us. Look at all these eggs we got. We're just having them out in a basket. It's interesting how the taxis have sirens. Like even the taxis have. This is a taxi, right? Oh, I actually don't know. I don't know for sure. Oh yeah, it is a taxi. Yeah, and they have like little top sirens. I think it's just a label. I don't think it's a siren, but it's just a label. Hey, I'm a taxi. Still don't trust them. Still don't trust them. All these eggs on display. Oh, they got a elote too out. These electric scooters are so dangerous because you can't hear shit. No noise. No noise. That's crazy. So they'll just come up on you. There's gotta be a crazy amount of healthcare spent on just the people getting hit by these motorized scooters everywhere. It's starting to rain. Ooh, that was good. Oh, it's starting to rain pretty bad now. Oh man, if water gets in my microphone, that could be bad. Waffle cones. Get that one. I don't even know what I'm ordering. I don't know what I've been eating, but it's been good. I will say that. But I'm also starving because I haven't ate since 4. I didn't actually get into Shenzhen until like 5 hours because I messed up the visa situation. But yeah, this like horribly caloried meal that's probably gonna end my life 3 days early is so worth it. It's so hot and cold. I've never had like bubbly waffle cone like this, but it's bomb because you can actually like taste the dough inside. Bread, chocolate syrup, Oreo cookies. This is crazy. I now understand why there's some chunkier people here in China. This food is good. I've been fiending over this. This whole thing gone in like 2 minutes. I'm fiending. You should see my eyes earlier. They're like, it just slowly, I don't know what that was, but that shit was good. Thank you. I'm a mess. It's so interesting to see all the balconies gated up. In this block, I don't know if that's like a normal thing, but the balconies are all gated up. I'm now just realizing that I think a lot of people probably assume that I am Russian, not only because I saw some Russians get in here, but there's also a store that was labeled Russia. Oh, I don't know if we can do this. And I'm trying to buy some products for like $3. Something to always keep in mind when traveling is that America might be the 3rd most populated nation in the world with 330 million people. However, remember that only 40% of us have our passport. So you have to consider that, whereas a lot of other countries, if they have, for instance, like Germany, their passport rates are way higher, and they've got 80 million people. So 40% of 340 million is, that's really hard math, like 120, 125, 130, something like that. So it's really only, the chances are if you're international, if you're outside of North America, there's only like 130 million Americans. And they have to be there at the exact same time, yada, yada, yada. You're way more likely to run into, I don't know, some Europeans, for instance, anyone from the EU, because a lot of those people have huge, that's why everyone actually thinks that I'm German, or something here. There's always some assumption, which is why I think a lot of people think I'm Russian. Yeah, someone just was speaking to me in some Slavic language. I'm like, bro, I do not know what you were saying. It's fun to be in a place where no one speaks English, though. I gotta say, that's really nice. Like barely even like a lick of English. So it's like, okay, I feel like I'm traveling now. Now, as someone that likes to immerse themselves into like an alien world, when I'm in a place where they don't speak high rates of English, it's like, okay, here we go. This is the position I like to put myself into. There's certain languages that don't need English. Chinese is definitely one of them. Like Spanish too. Any language, oh, the French. A lot of French people don't learn English. The French world's big enough, they don't need to learn English. I feel like people love to talk about beauty standards and how they're at a different level in blank spot, or a different level here, or a different level. I feel like the US compared to China, it's just not even the same thing. It's not even on the same level. We're playing on completely different playing fields. Like just the beauty standards are just very different, and you can't even compare the two because people just have all sorts of different things that they find appealing in this part of the world compared to others. I was looking for like some good Chinese shirts. Hate you, 10,000 years, 10,000 years, 10,000 years. I like that. And with like the broken heart. That's cool, very cool. I actually just saw a shirt with Garfield on it and a lot of text, and it actually was poetic. And it had like a lot of English text. It was poetic with the amount of it was like sometimes problems can actually be considered blessings. It was just really well worded. I'm gonna have to go find that, but I was honestly shocked. I'm like, I thought we'd see some really funny broken English, but no, it was all good. Mickey knows a smile will always help when things get touched. Mickey Mouse. Yes. Okay, yeah, I can see why the broken English on Chinese shirts are pretty hilarious. This is a weird spot because this is like the first time I've ever vacationed for a singular day, and like when I do see a foreigner, it's like, whoa, just anyone in general. I just saw one, and I'm just like, oh, I don't even know what this man was. Who knows? He could have been from like Turkmenistan or something, but it's still like, oh, what's up? I feel like it's hard to come by, hard to find. What I want to know about these stores that you can find everywhere. Oh, Labubu. Is that a Labubu? What I want to know about these stores you can find in America, obviously in China now, in Thailand. You can find these stores all over the place. These like generic claw stores. How much money are they really making? I never really see people doing it, yet they're clearly able to pay for the space that they're in. I mean, they're not having to pay an employee. There's no employee here. I'm sure there's tons of cameras. But I'm like, how much do these things really make? I know one person that likes these things. But are they able to even pay rent? Pay for more machines? Clearly, that's got to be the case. Unless they're fine with running a deficit, which a lot of companies are nowadays. A lot of companies just have negative numbers, and it's all good because it's growth. I always love looking at arcades in different countries. I don't know why it's fascinating to me. I feel like arcade culture is basically dead in America. At least it's not like what it used to be in the 80s and 90s, but I feel like I don't know, it's hard to say. I don't think they're that popular here. It doesn't feel like it. This feels about the same amount of people as the US. Where are the bars at? I want some bars. We should have got drunk here. Just absolutely obliterated. So when we go back to the Hong Kong side, we're just like, yeah, we were spies. No bendy straw. But coconut coffee. This area loves coconuts. We were gonna try coconut chicken, unfortunately we couldn't. This is probably just because they grow coconuts over here. Oh, that's actually bomb. What the hell? I don't even really like coconut that much, but that was good. This is the second really good dairy product I've had in China. Okay, China, I you. With you, China. A little bit of surveillance never hurt nobody. If I'm getting good food like this, you're gonna do what you need to do. Go ahead, take us over. It's all good. Invade us. But give me these dairy products. Why is this so good? I never trust places that like have people outside trying to get you to come in and eat. That's like, you know, red flag number one. Everyone's got these mouthpieces on too. I know what that's for, like probably because every time you speak, you're like throwing out saliva. But yeah, I do not trust places that are like outside trying to get you to come in. I'm like, okay, no. We're clearly in like a touristy ass area. This place is called Food City. So far the food has just generally been good. Like I don't think there's been anything that's like bad. It's all been slightly above average at the very least. Two really, really good. But I'm more of a sweets fiend, as you can tell. I like my coffee, I like my sweets. It's crazy that France is banning smoking. A lot of people obviously in China smoke. Bro, everyone's smoking actually outside right here. This is crazy. But yeah, France is banning smoking in public places. Or no, I think I read it as French people can no longer smoke where child activity begins. I think that's the translation. And that includes beaches. That includes beaches. Oh, I hope China, I shouldn't promote tobacco use, but there's some things that are just so synonymous with your country and culture that it feels weird if you were to ban it. China ain't gonna ban that shit. China's more free than France and us. If you want tobacco, you go for it. I'm sure that's not the case. I'm sure they do actually try to get their people to stop smoking. Their healthcare costs are probably insane. I'm pretty sure I've heard this song before in like memes and things like that. This definitely sounds like a meme Chinese song. They completely just ripped us off with some skewers. They got us. I mean, that's what traveling's all about, is they're gonna get you, they're gonna get you. They're gonna rip you off. I mean, look at me. Look at me, obviously that was gonna happen. It smells so good. That's pretty bomb. Maybe it was worth the 15 yen. That's pretty bomb, not gonna lie. I do want to emphasize what a lot of like Americans say, whether you're actually pro or anti-China. I do not see a lot of trash in the streets. I don't see a lot of trash in the streets, but we are in the richest, one of the richest areas, and we're like highly touristy area. So that's, you know, if we go down to like a certain, then again, now that I think about it, my hometown, if we go down to LA, you're gonna see trash in the streets everywhere. New York, LA, even if it is like Times Square or something like that. But something to keep in mind, I guess. I also didn't see any homeless people. But again, we are just in Shenzhen. I didn't get to go into like the deeper parts. What's crazy about this is we out here, and we did run into some people that spoke English. The lady that sold me the coffee spoke pretty good English, but it was okay. It was passable. It was passable, obviously. But dang, if we went somewhere outside of Shenzhen, it's crazy. Also, the outfits out here, crazy. The fits, the streetwear, people got a different style of fashion. I mean, it's cool though, but it's like, whoa. It's like LA compared to New York fashion, and this is its own thing. It's its own little thing. I have to say, this is maybe the first place, maybe I'm wrong, but this might be the first place that I'm not super concerned about pickpocketing. I might be wrong about that. Maybe I should be, but it's so funny. Like the moment I start speaking English, people start looking back at me like, what? But yeah, I'm not super concerned about pickpocketing because I feel like someone might steal my shit, but we're gonna get it on camera. We're gonna catch those fools. So, I mean, I hope someone doesn't steal my stuff. Oh, we're gonna miss the train. Hopefully we don't miss the train. Yeah, it is hilarious. Once you speak English, people start looking back like, what the hell? What the hell? I'm not surprised though. Like, why would you hear English here? So many of this, like I said, even the signs are not really that much in English, and there's not a whole lot of tourists, that's for sure. I have seen a lot of Russian. I've seen a lot of Cyrillic. I thought that was very interesting. Just because you very rarely see Cyrillic anywhere else. But I have seen it in Shenzhen. That's not even for recent reasons either. That's obviously China and Russia have been connected for almost 100 years now. So, well, they've been connected for actually a lot longer than that, but they've been really connected, really integrated for decades. And now probably even more so. Once again, 2025, going back to the old traditions. No more Sino-Soviet splits. It's actually kind of funny that I just mentioned the Sino-Soviet split in the Cold War when China and the Soviets became a little bit less friendly. Because this is one of the reasons why Shenzhen is one of the reasons it started. Because China was like, hey, we're gonna try to do a little bit of free trade. We're gonna try some experimental capitalism / communist things. And the Soviets didn't like that very much. Not gonna lie, I was a little bit concerned after being, you know, slightly, briefly detained by the CCP. As you can tell, I really like saying that. Briefly contained by the CCP. I was briefly put in a gulag. No, but I'm glad that I powered through that. And we still came to Shenzhen, because very memorable experience. I would like to return to China, but to a different city, if they let me. I'm not 100% if they will. I'm not 100% if they will allow me to. Maybe if they don't like some of the things I say in this video. They let me in with a visa, which I'm surprised about. I was actually like, oh my God, they're gonna deny me. I've got a lot of memes, a lot of funny memes. But this also goes to my theory that, like, actually if I were to ever try to go to Pyongyang, North Korea, they'd let me in because I don't necessarily say anything bad about North Korea. It's just it's just coded, ironically. For anybody wondering, if you're trying to make it to Shenzhen from Hong Kong, do not go to this station unless you have your visa. Do not go expecting to get a visa here. And do not walk in without a visa. You can walk in over here without a visa and obtain it within a reasonable time, but do not go here. That is how you get in a lot of trouble. I have to say I have a new appreciation of Hong Kong now that I spent several hours in mainland China. I enjoy the grit. Honestly, this is gonna sound funny, but it felt like crossing back over to Hong Kong. I was like, okay, back in America. It felt kind of, or at least back in the English-speaking world in a way, even though not that many people speak English here. But yeah, there was something a little scary about that. A little bit eerie about China. Would I go back? Hell yeah, I would go back to another city. I think I missed a lot in Shenzhen. They have this like theme park that shows you all these different touristy sites from around the world. It's called the Garden of, I don't know what it's called actually. But yeah, anyways, glad to be back in America. Hong Kong, China. America.
Thank you to my patrons this month. Drew seems like the kind of guy who never loses the remote. Drew's Argentinian Trust Fund, Rip Grandpa. Drew Supremacy League. Alexander the Terrible. Carmel S. Connor Pavlik. Douche Baggins. Frederick Tiblin. King. Bear Hayes. Luxembourg Lover. Miglu. The Goat. Nolan. Lord Tyrol. And Tambrin.